Alright, so evidently all you have to say in this community to get people up in arms is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Takes no skill. You guys can thank AznEyes for making the original 2 videos, Mega Capital G rebuttaling, amongst other things. So, what actually happened? I recommend watching AznEyes first rant about how this game takes no skill, and then just skip everything else and go watch Nedaroni Macaroni's video. And Nadhir brought up a lot of good points in his video. Man, spot on, Nadhir. So, let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Taking no skill. First off, I'm not going to lie, there are times in this game where it almost seems like this game doesn't take skill. We've all been there, we've all done that. If you haven't played in previous formats, this game's had some very high points as well. Teledad was a very skill-based format. Frog FTK format up until Frog FTK was introduced was a very, very, very good format as well. But when you bring skill into the point of this game, there are multiple things that you need to consider. Just because some guy goes to a YCS once in his life and does relatively well out of the 100, 200 YCSs that we've had, it's probably under 200 at this point, but you have one guy that gets lucky. I've seen that before, sure. But you can't take one example and justify it as the entire whole slice of the pie, as Nadhir was making reference to in his video. It was some Texas reference or whatnot, shooting and then just showing like the little parts, like, hey, I got like that little hole like 90 times. Sure, it doesn't matter. If you're justifying a small portion of an overall whole argument, then, well, you're doing yourself a disservice. And to top things off, you're just lying to yourself, man. So I'm not gonna point out anybody wrong here, because often this game can take no skill and often it can. Now, let's talk about net decking and the whole deck building process. Now, we've talked about net decking on this channel many times throughout the years. I'm an avid believer of net decking. And, a lot of people throughout the course of playing this game will net deck a deck, change 1 or 2 cards, and it becomes their variant. There are such thing as tech slots in this game. Tech choices, certain things that you want to play. I mean, hell, DD Crow, Maxi, Effect Veiler. These are all excellent choices of an evolving metagame. All of these cards change places. They can be your tech slots. Upstart Goblin's a current very good side-out card to board into other options. Those tech choices, those little side choices you make, can be the defining factor of a game. Now, on the flip side of this, so just to recap, building a deck is one of the most skill-intensive parts of this game. You have to bring your 40, 41, 42, your 60-card Infernoid deck playing Mowing the Lawn. You have to bring that deck to a tournament. You have to consistently expect to win 10 rounds of Swiss. And to top things off, you have to get through top 64, or excuse me, top 32, 16, 8, top 4, the finals. It's consistently doing that, and from someone that's done it before, it's very challenging. You have to take care of your body. You have to, make sure you're mentally prepared for the event. To make sure you eat, drink properly. Don't go on tilt over stupid things. And to say a game like that takes no skill, then that man must have been hella on point with his life. All right, because to be completely honest with you, you need to do that. Now, in actual gameplay, drawing the perfect out, it can happen. I mean, you can't stop someone on fire. And this is one of my favorite Billy Brake quotes. I had a higher chance of drawing Exodia in my opening hand over the 6 cards I drew against him when I played him back in Indy in 2012. And sure, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Happens, but you can't expect to consistently say that this game takes skill when you need to be mentally on point. You need to have your deck prepared to cover all of the events, and then you need to have Lady Luck on your side. Or you need to be better equipped to play the opponents. Now, deck building comes into play here with the skill that you did before the tournament. Those cards that you bring are the answers to your opponents. Yes, you can top deck Raigeki and have the perfect out presented to you on the board. It happens. But one of the things that makes this argument so invalid, in my opinion, is both sides are right. There's no one side to this. Yu-Gi-Oh's not all skill. Yu-Gi-Oh's not all luck. You know, there is that 50-50 that you need in there. And the luck side is playing the game. The skill side is the deck building. That's not entirely all true. Now, don't get me wrong when I say that. You know, you could have put one card in your deck. That was incredibly stupid. We've all been guilty of playing something incredibly terrible. And you know what? It pays off. Or, when we're playing in the game, we make such an incredible read through the opponent's next turn that we just win the game because of it. You know, it's kind of like yin and yang. Everything flows together. Testicles. So, moral of the story, I don't give a shit who's right or who's wrong. It's just a fucking cock comparing contest and fucking people measuring to see whose fucking dick is bigger at this point. Alright? It doesn't fucking matter. This game is both luck and skill based. Top fucking things off. But I will give it here some incredible credit. I love the video. It's a definite watch. If you guys want to hear the incredible ramblings of the madman. So, outside of that, I don't think there's really much else to really say on this topic. It's just a stupid argument. And someone's going to be in the comment section like, Robbie, you're just calling this argument fucking stupid because you don't have good points to add to it. What is there to say? I've played countless events. I've been lucky. I've made some skill reads. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, there have been times where I've just gotten fucking lucky. There's other times where I played in previous regionals years ago where every hero player top decks Miracle Fusion on me. They could have nothing whatsoever. And then they're like, boom, Miracle Fusion. And you're just like, really, guy? Like, that's one of the reasons why you always hear me always talking about, you know, like every hero player in the universe has the ability to top deck Miracle Fusion. And it's just from my personal experiences. Now, if you're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Taking, you know, all of this skillless shit, then why don't you go win an event? You know, like if Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't take a skill, then please prove us wrong. Prove to us on how skillless you can be. And don't fucking hit me with that line that says, oh, I'm too skilled to go win an event. You know, like, the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know, like, if you want to defend your argument, go prove it to us. You know, if you think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all luck-based, go fucking create a shitty deck. Go rely on Lady Luck. You know, you could play the same event 1,000 times over. You might get lucky and win one of them. But that's what probability and statistics does to you. And having played Gadgets over the years, 42 cards, man, I have to remember all the math, but 42 cards, different percentiles, searching, reducing the cost every turn. You know, it's the same argument that people make with Pot of Desires being a -9. No, it's fucking not. You fucking dick thin, all right? You get to see everything. You know what? They reward you so much with Pot of Desires. You know? So those of you that think the card is a -9 should quit this game right now. Right? You don't cognitively understand pluses and minuses in this game through card advantage. Go please do me a favor. Just sell everything you own. Peace out, all right? Way card advantage works is the amount of cards your opponent has compared to yours. Got it? Pot of Greed is a 1-for-1 +1. So it's a +1. The card exchanges itself with another card, and to top itself off gives you an additional card. Now, Pot of Desires does 2 fucking things for you. And you shouldn't play this game if you don't understand this. Pot of Desires deck thins you 12 cards. Now that's insane, all right? You even get to look at what you banish to play the rest of the game, all right? You shouldn't be playing a lot of 1-ofs if you're playing Desires. Like, that's on you. And this is where luck and statistics and deck building come into play hand in hand, especially with Pot of Desires. All right. You get to banish top 10. So your 35 card deck, it's down to 25. Draw 2, go down to 23. You then can look at everything that's banished. Now you have an increased percentage of over 30. I think it's like 30%. It's like 25% increase to drawing more cards in your deck that are more important to you the later the game goes. Okay, and you can prepare to not see the one-ofs that got banished. So what you're telling me is Pilot Desires increases my overall draw rate by 25%, is a +1, can deck thin potential trash out of my deck to prepare me for other situations. What am I missing here? Yu-Gi-Oh! is it's a lot of probability and statistics. It's a lot of situations that arise. It's a lot of number crunching. And that's like how you can't say that this game doesn't take skill. Because if you're a really good player, you're keeping track of your resources. You're keeping track of what's going on in the game state. You're keeping track of what is going on. And there will always be those formats that it's hit and miss. I can't deny that. But we also can't deny the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good cognitive mix of multiple things. So at the end of the day, if you think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is some skillless, half-hearted game that takes no skill, then why are you still playing this game? You want a truly, decently mindless game, and I know someone's going to rag on me for this, but consider Pokemon. One of the cool things that balances Pokemon out is you can draw all the fucking cards you want. You should only be able to attach one energy from your hand a turn. Now, there are obviously mechanics in the game to get around this, but that's one of the saving graces that Pokemon has for itself, is the ability to limit you in the preparedness of your deck. And if you really want to draw cards mindlessly, Pokemon's the game for you. Obviously, as we just said, equipping energies is more of a limiting impact on that game. But by all means, if you want to think things are skillless, hop on over to Pokemon and draw all the fucking cards you want. The game will punish you excessively once you realize that mulligans can punish you. Once you learn that you can only equip one energy a turn unless you're playing something Blastoise, Blacksmith, things like this, just speed up the process of your deck. So something, if you really want to get good on games, play multiple games. Don't justify it by just trying to prove that good points and other things exist. So yeah, guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. You guys truly think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a mindless zombie game? Or do you think it's a very good, well-mixed breed of skill and luck? Comments down below and I'm out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up this video to show your support. And please check out Vanguard 40 for Cardfight Vanguard, mkohl Games for miscellaneous trading card games, and No Limit Gaming for a brand new series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. Thanks for watching.